Hi, I'm Leonard Olaer.
Hi, I'm Malou Kamradt.
And hi, I'm Randal Kamradt, writer and director of The Monsters Without, and you're watching Rise and Shine with FilAm Creative.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time for the third episode of season 2 for Rise and Shine. And now, without further ado, here they are. It's Ed, it's Rex, and it's Roni.
Woohoo! Rise and Shine, season 2. Rise and Shine, season 2.
I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of Rise and Shine season 2. Really, though. It's like we're going to be like 3/4 of the way through the season, and I'm going to still talk about season 2 being Rise and Shine season 2.
Again, my inspiration from that was from Bring It On. So thank you, Ed, for that.
Love it.
Bring It On cheerleader movie. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
And Roni, I don't know about you, and Rex too, I'm still on a high from last week. What a show. If you guys did not see it, please go back into YouTube. One episode prior to this, Marite Go, her movie is fantastic. Check it out on Amazon Prime. A little plug for our friend. Great episode.
Yes, check out that movie and then watch the interview afterwards, because mind blown. So many things happened, not just the stuff that's like happening in the movie when you get caught up in the story and you start to really feel stuff, but then real life happened to them in the movie. So
absolutely.
Let that be in the background of your thoughts, people.
That's right.
So welcome to October 26th. We are 5 days away from Halloween. I don't think that works like that. Did I do the math wrong?
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay. We're good. 5 days away from Halloween, but we are just mere hours away from National Chocolate Day and Beer Day. So no matter how you celebrate Halloween, whether you are eating your weight in fun size candy or you are drinking all of the delicious autumnal beers that's coming out, and drinking your weight in that. Actually, don't do that. Drink responsibly. However you're celebrating, there's something for you. And what better than to have your chocolate and your beer while watching some fabulous movies, which I think is what we are. I know that Rise and Shine being the podcast, and we cover a range of topics, but we're real movie heavy coming into this Rise and Shine season 2, right, guys.
Giving you guys a Halloween fix. Yes. Can I just ask my co-hosts?
Yes.
Can we go around? What is okay? No, I'm asking.
I'm just kidding. Yes, I want to answer all the questions.
Okay. I mean, it's so obvious. Like it's like a softball question here. What is our favorite beer? And what is our favorite chocolate? And we should ask our guests when they come out too. I'll start. I love Guinness, as I'm loyal to my friends in Dublin. And I love, I love chocolate. I like milk chocolate, which I know a lot of people are more of the dark variety, but I like milk chocolate. So how about you?
Well, let's see. Beer wise, I'm pretty good with like Stella. I love like those European type of beers. Getting into some of the IPAs, even though some of those IPAs can be a little too crafty for me sometimes, but definitely Stella. And then chocolate wise, I'm down for a good dark chocolate. That's always really good.
Because you're a grown up, we get it.
No, but I mean, my first foray into chocolate was obviously making chocolate chip cookies. And so, I've always liked that not so sweet chocolate, that semi-sweet, almost bittersweet.
Wait, I didn't know that. So chocolate chips are dark chocolate? I didn't know
They're
that.
semi-sweet.
The semi-sweet.
Okay. I learned something new every time we shoot. Thank you, Rex. I did not know that. I'm being serious. Like, wow.
Rex is such a gourmand. He's introducing us to semi-sweet chocolate.
Again, until the day that Ed can say culinary casino, then
stop it. Okay.
Zang, okay.
And how about Roni?
To break up this fight, so if people haven't heard already, I am from the San Francisco Bay Area, and I spent a good chunk of my life in the Oakland, Berkeley area. Mm-hmm. And it was around that time that I got introduced to all of these super hipster craft beers that are in that scene.
You're so
and
bougie.
I just developed I'm super bougie like that, guys. I don't know if no one's noticed yet, but I love a good craft beer. I used to not be a beer drinker, but I love a good craft beer. And right now that I've relocated to the greater Los Angeles area, there is one of my favorite breweries around here is called LA Ale Works.
Mm.
And I love pretty much everything they do.
Mhm.
But to combine the two, they have like a chocolate stout beer. I'm not usually a stout beer drinker, but one time I went there and somehow I had Oreos at that same time. If you drink this beer and have Oreos at the same time, it's like a chocolate milk extravaganza. It's a good way to cover your whole carb spectrum in one meal. So LAL works. I don't think it's a stout. It has notes of chocolate in it. Go to the brewery, grab yourself a family pack of Oreos when you're on the way, and just have a ball. So
I mean, why are we even covering this episode today? Can we just tell Randall like we got to go? Like,
yeah, we'll meet them at the brewery, have some beers, and talk about their movie. And just
stop
cry
the tape and reshoot in this brewery. So
Well, no,
I'm down.
No, to your point, Ronnie, I mean, like that sounds great as a snack as they're watching our next guest movie and everything, which is actually making a lot of waves right now in the festival scene. So, I mean, I think having that chocolate stout, which is a dark beer, by the way, was a dark beer, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, watching that and watching our next guest movie, I mean, that's a win.
Get huddled up under the blanket, have your beer, have your chocolate, turn off all the lights.
I think it's time. I think it's
time. Have a great time, guys. I will find some beer and chocolate myself.
Thank you very much, Roni Canyeso, Executive Director of FilAm Creative. Find out more about all the great stuff she is in charge of at www.filamcreative.org. All right, so Sexy Rexy, I think it's time to bring out our guest. As Roni mentioned, we're spotlighting a lot of filmmakers in our season premiere month. And why? Because we want you to have some good programming for Halloween and for the month of October. So our first guest, we actually had the pleasure of meeting him last week at the Los Angeles Asian International Film Festival. We got to meet him and he got to talk to us a little bit about his great movie, The Monsters Without.
Yes.
And we're so happy that he's going to be with us today. We're also going to bring out a couple of other folks from the movie a little bit later, but we want to start with the man behind the project. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him to episode 3, season 2, Rise and Shine, Randal Kamradt. Good morning. How you doing?
Happy to be here, guys.
What's up?
Hey, not much. What's up with you guys?
Long time no see, man.
I know. It's like in 8 days.
Too long.
How did the premiere go?
Went great. It's really delightful to see it for the first time on a big screen.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. I'm being the director and being sort of tied up with the movie for so long. I'm just staring at the screen, hoping it all goes right the whole time. But it went beautifully. It looked amazing. It's really a privilege to have it open on a big screen like that during a pandemic. With a live audience. That's we're lucky.
And I do want to apologize. In my intro, I did not. You should slap me. I forgot this. But you also had a short film premiere also at the festival, and we would be remiss without mentioning that. So, actually, before we get into it, could you give us a synopsis of both your short and The Monsters Without? If you could just let us know for our audience members who have not watched these great films.
Sure. So I'll start with The Monsters Without. So that one's a feature-length film, and it just premiered at the LA Asian Pacific Film Festival, and it's an action adventure, a little bit of comedy that was made in the Philippines and features Filipino mythological creatures such as the aswang and the capre, and it's about this team of people called Fays who, they're kind of like Ghostbusters, but they're the Philippines equivalent, and they're there to sort of research and defend humanity sort of against these monsters. And eventually a ancient creature called Nameless shows up, and he has a bit of a dark plan, and it's up to Fays to try and see what they can do to sort of stop him. So that one's that was the feature film, and then I also have at that same festival a short film that I was privileged to direct called No Dogs, and that film takes place in the 1930s in California, near Watsonville, and it's about sort of the fallout from the Watsonville riots, and it's about a young woman who sort of is on the run for mysterious reasons, and she runs to hide in a diner where she meets the proprietor of the diner, Carl, and they hide out there in the diner for a whole night, and secrets are revealed. And yeah, those are the two films, and yeah, it was really great to be able to premiere them both just a few weeks ago.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so how were now you talked about the premiere of The Monsters Without. How about the premiere of the short? How did that go?
Same thing, really really great to see it on a theater. We were part of a shorts program, so there were a whole bunch of really excellent movies sort of on each side of it. So it was great to sort of see this spectrum of Filipino American talent. All these different films that are very, very different in content and in form. And yeah, it was really interesting to see it in that way. We had a full audience, a very appreciative audience. For both films, we did a Q&A afterwards and got to really talk about them and sort of analyze the films.
Tell us about your process of trying to secure locations out there and that process of production out there in the Philippines.
For sure, yeah. Locations, I mean, that's a big, big part of sort of this movie and of what we do with both this and my previous film a while ago, which is called Far Away.
Mhm.
And a lot of the credit for locations goes to my producer, Malou Kamradt, who's also my wife, and we'll meet her in a little bit.
Yes.
And she's a pro at like finding places and getting permission for it. We actually filmed, not in sort of the metro areas of Philippines, not in Manila or any, but in the provinces. And it's actually my mom's hometown, and it's also actually Malou's hometown.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very special place to us, and really like untouched for movie making.
Oh,
So
yeah.
uh, there's pluses and minuses to that. The minus is no facilities for filmmaking or anything, but the pluses are that it's beautiful and stuff that has really never been seen in a motion picture before. So we would just sort of drive around a lot and try and like spot places and say, hey, let's use that, let's use that. Sometimes things in the script were even written specifically for certain locations. This is an adventure movie, and I think it's really important in adventure movies to have a location that feels epic, that feels like something you haven't seen before, something that transports people out of their homes and their rooms and their theater screens and brings them into a wide world. And Philippines is really a great place to do that. I sort of think of it as like how Peter Jackson found that his home country of New Zealand had everything he needed for Lord of the Rings. Like Philippines has that sort of untapped potential.
You're right. When a filmmaker tells their story, you want to transport them to another place in time, an experience. And that's what I noticed, especially for the comedic scenes and stuff, especially on the beach. I noticed that. I'm like, oh my God, they shot, wow, where that was, what province that was and everything. And so, I mean, if you could tell us what province or provinces that you shot at, I mean, they were just incredible.
I mean, it's all in the province of Biliran,
Mm,
which is our home area.
okay.
And it's, a relatively small island that's sort of close to Tacloban.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
and just, it's all there. Except for one thing, which is the cave. You might have seen in the
Oh,
trailers
right.
there's a cave, and that was like the location shoot. Like if the whole movie is sort of a location shoot, that was the location shoot from the location. So we had to drive 5 hours
Oh,
south um, to get to that cave, and it was a long, epic journey. I'm sure you'll hear more about it from
oh, I'm
Leonard in a
sure.
bit, but being in the cave was incredible. And very, very difficult, but it was a real cave, and we were really pushing to find. Our last film used a lot of these locations from Biliran, and we
Mhm.
just want to push it even further. How can we find more new places that haven't really been seen on movies? Um, and it's all a part of transporting people, transporting
hope-
the audience.
Yeah, I hope the Department of Tourism is going to call you pretty soon, because it really just kind of came through. That was definitely the first impression I got when I saw the trailers and
I would
stuff.
love it if it got people to sort of come visit, to come visit our area. That's
Yeah, it's fascinating that Rex brought this up, because we have an episode coming up later in season 3 where we're talking about shooting in the Philippines. And I think a lot of people, when they think of that, they think of Manila, they think of Cebu. And as someone who personally, like, my mother's side of the family is from Iloilo, and when I go to the Philippines, I just want to go there. Like, I don't really want to spend a lot of time in, with all due respect to Manila and Quezon City, but like,
Yeah.
I'd rather go into the provinces. And so, you had alluded to the fact that, you didn't have as much, availability like you might have in Manila. So maybe talk a little bit about, like, working with the locals. Did you bring professionals from Manila or from the States? Did you work with a local crew? Like what was that like, shooting in a much smaller part of the country?
Yeah, we do things sort of a very specific way for us, because we've done a couple of these projects in Philippines, so we've sort of evolved our approach. And for people who sort of actually work in movies, we bring very few. So our cinematographer came from the U.S., and it's pretty much in the camera department. He's the only one who has ever worked on a movie before, and we found some local talents who just basically were interested in getting involved on the technical side, and sort of did a little boot camp and trained everyone on how to do lighting and how to do this and that. And I mean, lighting of course is a complex art and it's very difficult, but certain basics of it you can essentially be taught in a day, and then the movie itself becomes its own sort of film school for people as they learn more and more. And of course, our cinematographer is there, so if something gets set up not quite right, he can come on over and fix it up. But that's sort of our approach to crew. I mean, it's a similar approach in terms of cast, that we brought over a couple of folks. We did bring one cast member over from Manila. That's our star, Jake Macapagal, who starred in Metro Manila. And but aside from him, a lot of our talent comes locally from Biliran, and we rehearsed people. We auditioned a handful of folks, and we just sort of entrusted the local talents to fill out the cast.
That's great. And speaking of the cast and speaking of locations, you talked about how your wife was involved a lot in that. We do want to bring out 2 more members of this great production. So we want to, I guess if we were shooting on TV, we'd have you move over on the couch.
Yes, I know. If we had a couch,
we don't have to move exactly. So
the Tonight Show couch, yes.
Exactly. So we don't need to worry about that, but we do want to bring out 2 more people. We want to bring out one of the producers of the film. So welcome, please, Malou Kamradt. And we want to welcome one of the actors from the film, Mr. Leonard Olaer. So welcome, both of you. Rise and shine. Thank you for coming out. And
Hi, guys.
Hello.
So Malou, let's start with you. Randall had alluded to the fact that you're kind of the expert on finding locations and whatnot. As someone who wants to shoot in Iloilo, I might be calling you soon. But tell us about the experience then. I mean, tell us about how you went about helping Randall to make his vision become a reality.
So the writing process started during Typhoon Yolanda Haiyan in 2013.
Wow.
We were not married yet at that time. He visited me there, but for like 5 months. But that happened. He visited me week of October, and then Typhoon Haiyan happened first week, second week of November. So he was stuck there. We were stuck in Biliran for 3 months without electricity.
Oh.
So Randall, as
Wow.
he was a reader, a writer, he would imagine things, and I would tell at night, there's no power, there's no electricity. We would just gather around the table, and then I would tell him stories about, oh, there's this creature. I hear the creature. It's called aswang. I'm like, oh, okay, tell me more. And then he got so interested about like Philippines creatures and mythology. And I was like, oh, my grandma used to tell me these stories. I'm like, oh my God, this would be, and he told me this would be a really great story to tell, in a movie. Like maybe make another monster or like an adventure movie that involves monsters. And I was like, oh, that would be so amazing. That would be so amazing. And then he started the writing process. And so living in Biliran, I know that the province would be so beautiful for this sort of story. And that also another thing, I supported him really because whenever we go to a different place, like even us living in the Philippines, people would not know where Biliran is. Where is Biliran? Is it in Tagbilaran, Bohol? I'm like, oh no, didn't we have to explain the whole process of like how to get there, where, or show them the map where Biliran is? And so I thought this would be a really great thing for me to do, supporting this film so that people would know where Biliran is and how beautiful it is with its waterfalls and the greeneries and the rice terraces and the beaches, and so with in terms of Monsters Without Location, whenever he will write scenes, he will ask me and like, oh, this will be the great place to film at, because I know the land, the island really well.
So definitely you were the expert in the expert location scout, as they say, and you kind of had the vision already of what it was going to look like.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, I had that vision. He would ask me, hey, where can we find a building, like a 2-story building? And I was like, oh, I know where. Okay. Yeah, because I live there, and yeah.
You kind of know the scenery over there, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
To Leonard, your character, you play a character named Benito. And tell our audience what Benito does in this movie and how Randall and Malou approached you and how they found you to star in this wonderful movie.
Okay, so actually being Benito is not that easy actually, because you know I'm not that good in acting actually. I can say that because I am so blessed that direct Randal Kamradt and Mama Lou give me that opportunity to be one of the actor of the movie. So actually I auditioned during the Far Away, the first movie of, I don't know if it's second movie of, but I know it's the first movie of Derek Randal Kamradt went into the what's that, direct the film festival. It and actually it was invited during the one of the indie film movie or international independent movie
The Cinquento Film
in the
Festival?
Philippines. That's the
Oh,
Cinquento.
yeah.
That's the
Okay.
International
Yeah.
Film Fest in the Philippines. It's
Yeah.
I auditioned that during the Far Away way back in 2012. So yeah, during that day, I was just only a supporting actor, and and during the Monsters Without, I am so very blessed that Derek Randall Kamradt gave me that opportunity to be one of the actor of the Monsters Without, because it's such an honor for me to be part of the movie actually. So being Benito in the movie, somehow I don't know if I am the hero of the movie, but it's somehow like that because my character goes that way.
And the part was written for you, Leonard. You didn't have to audition for
Oh my God! See
that one.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
Actually, I am so during the Far Away. I auditioned during the Far Away, but during the Monsters Without, I am so blessed that Randall Kamradt just email me and chat me at Facebook to be part of the movie. So I am so blessed, really blessed.
So Randall, then going back to your writing process, then when you wrote this, were you writing specifically for local talent, or did you already have people in mind and you kind of wrote to their nuances or to their, to their personalities and stuff?
Yeah, it varies by character to character. Some of them
Mhm.
I knew, like, hey, let's get this person back. Let's get Leonard back to do this
Right.
role. There were a lot of parts that, for example, one of the key parts that didn't have anyone was Wonder, and she's played by April Rose Estoy, who
Mhm.
is a local talent who we had to audition. We had to find her.
Right.
And there's a couple of other parts like that. But yeah, every part was very, very different. And it's an ensemble film, so it was
Mhm.
really about like how can we construct the best sort of ensemble.
Right.
And it was like, well, we know that these ingredients are going to be pretty good in this, but we're going to have to find these people. So yeah, it got wide variance.
And my last question too, Randall, you could jump in on this, but to Malou, I know that you had alluded that this film was done, shot there. So this was what, way before the pandemic ever happened then, is that correct?
Yes. We shot this film 2017, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
right
good.
before pandemic.
Okay, yeah, but I know that around that time when Yolanda hit, I remember because here in the States, we were doing a lot of efforts, a lot of fundraising efforts that I was being a part of to send funds back home because of how bad Haiyan was just devastating to that country and everything. And it's like, the Philippines around that time, it's known for its typhoons. And it's just devastating when I hear one, especially as devastating was Yolanda. I was just like, wow, to have no power for 3 months, but yet out of that darkness came an inspiration for a storyline, So you always got to find the positive, and I'm glad that because of that, a positive shone a light here, and I'm glad that we here are giving. Here's the pun, Ed. We here are giving it rise and shine to the monsters without it. Sorry, Ed, I had to throw that in there.
Don't worry. I had a question for Malou. Randall alluded to the fact that you're married. Obviously, film is a director's medium. And so I wanted to put you kind of on the spot. Let's see how Randall reacts to it. Like,
his eyes just got big.
how was it working with, obviously you're going into a place that you're a little more comfortable with. Were there any instances where Randall had a vision where you were like, oh no, you can't do that, or oh come on, you got to tweak it? Like how was it working with him when the creative idea might not have been able to be fulfilled and you had to maybe tweak with him? Like, were there any stories like that in the making of the film?
So many. Number one is when he told me that he wanted like around 300 extras for the finale scene. And I told him, wait, how much money do we have? We can't just throw, because I didn't, I know it's my hometown and we didn't want to just get free extras. We try our hardest with the limited resources we had at that time. To at least pay and feed everybody really well and provide support to them. But when he said I need this many extras, I'm like, I'm sorry, we gotta be realistic here. Let's do tricks. I'm a choreographer, you're a director, so maybe we can do something with 50 extras. Yes, I was a teacher in Biliran Province State
Great.
University.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yes, I was a teacher at that wait, was I already here? Yeah, I was already here in the United States, but I've been a teacher there for 7 years. So I had connections with the university, and we were so grateful to Biliran Province State University for they allowed our cultural members, like the dancers, the actors, to help us with the movie. So that I told him, these are the only number I can give you for extras. So let's just
force him
try
to get
our
more
best.
creative.
Yes. Another thing is that to bring everyone to the cave. And I told them we cannot because we can only afford 2 vans, 2 vehicles. And how many, like location, and can we house everybody in a fancy hotel? I told them we can only host maybe 2 in a hotel or 1, but we have to
Hotel
have
6.
we have to ask our relatives if we can house them in their house.
Oh,
A true
wow.
indie film. Love
Wow.
it. Love it. Love it.
Wow.
Yeah, we had to cut corners where we can
Yeah.
cut. So we're very happy, and we're
Resourceful.
thankful that
Yes.
the community supported us. The mayor of the town really supported us without
Wow.
without a lot of questions, as long as we promised not to, when we go there,
Mhm.
we leave it the way it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Malou, like any good producer, she is not afraid to tell me no. She's not afraid to say it can't be done.
It's like, Randall, I love you, but no.
I
This is
love
not
you, I
happening.
love what you do, but nope.
Well, Randall, you've got this successful film that's on the film festival circuit, and as I alluded to, we do have future episodes coming up in season 3 where we're talking about shooting in the Philippines. So maybe you could tell us, you've gone through it before, you've done it on other projects. Do you prefer shooting there? Do you want to go back and shoot more there? Do you prefer staying in the States? Like, what's your thought on that?
I mean, I greatly prefer. I mean, it's just my experiences of shooting in the Philippines are much better than my experiences filming in the United States. I mean, I think it's really specific to the area that we're filming in, and sort of
Right.
the fact that it's our
Right.
hometown, the fact that I have family there, and most of all, the fact that Malou is such an expert at everything there. Um, you can point the camera in any direction. It's going to look it's going to look amazing. It's going to look sort of interesting.
Yeah.
People aren't quite as fussy about getting a lot of sort of all these types of permissions and insurances and everything for each location. The people are generally sort of happier to have us there. Shooting in LA is always very difficult.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, shooting almost anywhere in America can sort of turn a little bit difficult. So I've really preferred shooting in the Philippines.
And you alluded to shooting like in the province. Have you had a chance to shoot in a place like Cebu or Manila?
No, I actually haven't. I mean, we have other projects that we're hoping to do, and I still think like if we do anything that's set in Manila, I think I'm still just going to shoot it in Biliran, just in Naval, our city, and just sort of, double it.
Yeah.
I think it would be plausible, and probably it would be difficult to even tell the difference. Manila it's Manila. It's a big city. It's
Yeah.
often congested.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of, I mean, I love it, and we love going there, and we also love Cebu. But yeah, I mean, our hometown is sort of where we're at the happiest. But honestly, it depends on the project. We would go where we had to go to make it happen, whatever the film was. Would be happy to film in the U.S. if needed. But we've just had really good experiences. On both of our feature projects that we've filmed in
Of course. Yeah.
Biliran.
Yeah, we
Speaking-
filmed 28 days, right? And we got all the shots we needed.
Wow.
28
So
days.
the principal photography was 28 days.
Yes.
Great.
Wow.
And you might, in America, you might not. That might have had to be a 10-day shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of
A
money,
little more
and
compressed. Yeah.
whatnot. Yeah. So
Maybe 5 days.
Yeah, maybe 5 days exactly.
Well,
So
I mean,
Randall-
just sounding from getting to the caves itself was 5 hours long. That's a whole day already. I mean, oh my
Yeah,
gosh. I mean,
exactly. So
Yeah,
Randall,
but we.
no,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
go ahead.
Oh,
No, go ahead.
well, getting to the cave is 5 hours, but we didn't lose a day of shooting to do it.
Woke up at 2 in the morning.
we got real innovative in our way of how we did that, but we sort of wrapped early the day before. We woke up really early and drove out there. And when we arrived, it was sort of morning time, and we were sort of hoping that the excitement of the location would get people.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I have unstable internet right now. Am I freezing?
No,
No,
you're
no,
good.
so you're fine. You're
good.
fine.
Oh, okay.
We're
We love listening to these stories about, I mean, a lot of times the budget forces a different kind of art and it forces people to get creative. Just listening to your stories about the 300 extras, it became 50. It reminds me of if you've ever watched the commentary that Justin Lin does on Better Luck Tomorrow, and he talks about how
Yeah.
they had a party scene and they had like a bunch of people at the front of the house, and then the camera pans to the back and everybody runs into the house and then goes into the back, and he's pointing out, oh, it's the same people that you just saw. And it just, it forces people to get creative. And it's so nice to hear that you guys were able to use your creativity, and we call it resourcefulness. And so it's great that you were able to accomplish so much. What is coming up, Randall, for both the feature and the short in terms of festivals, in terms of just in the future? What can we where can we expect to see these projects?
Well, the feature film for The Monsters Without, we've just begun our festival tour. We were looking at a couple of festivals for our next stop, and we hope to have something to announce as soon as possible to our fans. But it'll be a little bit. We just premiered, so
Still on a high. Awesome.
yeah, still
Yes, for
floating
sure.
off of that one. But yeah, we're hoping to hit another spot or two by the end of the year, hopefully. And then with the short film No Dogs, that one is so it premiered at LA Asian, but it's about to appear at the Chelsea Film Festival in New York, and then a week after that at Twin Cities Film Festival in Minneapolis, and then a
Wow.
week after that at Philadelphia Asian American Film Festival.
Oh,
So those are all set for it, and then we'll see where it goes after that. But probably a lot of festival dates for that one, and for both Chelsea and Philadelphia, those have a virtual component. So anyone at home who would like to check out the film can go ahead and do so just by getting a virtual ticket during those festivals.
nice.
Great. And what about taking the film back to the homeland? When will you be taking, especially The Monsters Without? When are you going to be taking that back to the Philippines? Any
Yeah,
plans?
that's definitely one of our top desires, is to especially bring it to Biliran and show the folks who worked on it, our
Yeah.
50 extras and all the crew and everybody.
Not 300, right?
Not
Yes.
300.
But it'll have to wait a little bit until things settle down a bit with the pandemic and live screenings are possible again, because we really want to show it like we are here in a live setting on a theater screen.
Yeah.
It's a movie that benefits greatly from being on the big screen, because it is an epic, and those locations really shine on the big screen in a way that you'd still enjoy it. You'd still have a good time seeing it on the small screen, but it's really intended in a way that's different from like a drama film or something else, even
Sure.
other genres. Adventure is all about those locations and about that scale. So we want the theater screen, so we're going to wait it out a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. We hope you all are enjoying this episode, season 2, episode 3 of Rise and Shine, with Leonard and Malou and Randall from the movie The Monsters Without. We've got one more segment coming up after the other side of this little promo break. It's called 13 Things. So thanks for listening to us on Spotify or watching us on YouTube, and we will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Rise and Shine, season 2, premiere. You know what? It's not premiere weekend. I think it's like, let's do it like Shark Week. Let's look at like Rise and Shine premiere month.
It is premiere month.
Let's just do it that way. And ladies and gentlemen, your favorite segment that we like to do here on the show, it's called 13 Things. And today, we not only have one, we not only have two, but we have 3 guests today that's going to be participating in 13 Things. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we go to each one of you, please introduce yourself, say your name and what you do.
Hi everyone, I am Leonard Olaer from Biliran province in the Philippines. I am an actor of the Monsters Without as Benito, directed by Randal Kamradt.
Hi everyone, I am Malou Kamradt, and I am a producer and an educator.
Hi everyone, I'm Randall Kamradt, and I'm the writer and director of The Monsters Without.
All right, guys, this is fantastic. And it is time to begin 13 things. So let's start by getting to know you guys a little bit better. So you all are either directors or producers or actors. Can you recommend for us your 4 favorite actors or filmmakers?
Okay, of course, for me, first, of course, the one who gave me an opportunity, direct Randal Kamradt. A Philippine and actor and actress like Angel Locsin, actor Jan Arcelia, and of course, Jake Macapagal.
Yula Valdez for Filipino actress, Eddie Garcia, Hollywood Anne Hathaway, and Adam Driver.
Jean-Luc Godard, Brian De Palma, Orson Welles, and Akira Kurosawa. Those are my guys.
Wow.
Love it all. Love it all. If you guys were not actors or producers or directors, what would you be doing instead?
Okay. Since I am really into public service, I am working with one of the high-ranking official in the province. So I am a politician or a public servant.
An astronaut.
Video game director. I think that's what I'd want to be.
Love it. Love it.
Wow.
Okay. If you guys could be running a nonprofit, what type of cause would your nonprofit benefit?
Okay. I think for me, since that I'm in public service, I want to have the free tuition or the educational system, like a scholarship program for the poorest of the poor.
Awesome.
For me, preserving Philippines folk dances.
Interesting. Okay.
For me, it would be film preservation, but for Filipino cinema and Filipino American cinema. There's not enough preservation going on sometimes. It's tough.
Every time I go to the Philippines, I'm trying to look for DVDs, and it's always the same 20 movies. I mean, I couldn't agree more. What is something peculiar that not a lot of people know about you?
Okay. Maybe being one of an international indie film actor of Far Away and The Monsters Without.
Peculiar. I secretly talk to grass and trees.
I used to be a Domino's pizza driver. I don't know if that's peculiar enough.
Awesome. What's the most beautiful place anywhere that you've ever seen?
Oh, I am so proud, Biliran province.
Palawan.
You took my answer.
We both went there. So.
Yeah, the underwater caves in Palawan.
Special time. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you guys some locations. You tell me what you like to do the most in those locations. All right. Outdoors.
I do public service, so I have like 500 viewers in TikTok for helping older women. So that's it.
People watching.
Drinking.
All right. In your living room.
Oh, like just chatting with my family and like watching movies.
Couch, Netflix, snacks.
Watching movies and drinking.
Favorite thing to do in the Philippines?
Oh, like we if Derek won't hire me, I'm really into public service.
Hanging out with my family, my mom, my friends, and my sister.
Karaoke and drinking.
Okay. On a vacation.
Oh, I wanna be with my friends in a quiet place without internet, so that it just is chilling time.
Vacation. Sleeping in and breakfast buffet.
Mm.
Oh.
I think Malou is winning on the answers here, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, the sleeping in part sounds good. I'm just gonna say that as well.
All right. Favorite thing to do in the Philippines?
No, you said that. You asked
Did I say
that.
that already?
Yeah, I asked that.
I'm sorry. I'm like, boy, this slapped me, Rex. It's terrible.
It's okay. It's okay.
Favorite thing to do online?
Oh, surfing the internet, YouTube, Netflix, and everything.
All right.
Mindlessly scrolling mindlessly scrolling, reading.
Overwatch.
All right.
Overwatch and Fortnite.
This is a PG rated show, ladies and gentlemen. Favorite thing to do in your bedroom?
Of course, rest.
Sleep. Yes, sleep.
Try to sleep, but wind up just scrolling on the phone.
All right. I am turning it over to my buddy Rex.
All right, guys. Now, see, we're going to get a little more serious now with these questions here. Okay. So, put on your serious caps and stuff. So, to the three of you, tell us your four favorite foods or type of foods you got to have to eat.
Okay, it's the Filipino food, like
Mhm,
of course the adobo,
mhm.
seafoods, any recipe, street foods like isaw, dugo and everything,
Mhm.
and pancit.
Oh.
I gotta have rice. I gotta have access to chicken, fried chicken or adobo. Fish and chop suey.
She's still winning, guys.
Sushi, and then Korean barbecue, and then the Filipino barbecue, like on the
Oh,
sticks,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then lumpia.
Okay, so family recipes. Tell us what family recipe of yours is better than mine.
Okay, I really love my mother. The recipe of my mom, like the was so called pangat. It's a shred taro leaves, something like that, with coconut.
Hmm.
Same with Leonard. My mom's pangat
Yeah,
with coconut milk.
coconut milk. Yeah.
Sounds
Come on,
tasty.
Randall.
I
Come
will
on,
say
man.
my pizza recipe from all my Domino's tricks I learned.
All right.
I learned a lot of skills.
I think
Okay.
Randall's winning now.
Okay. All right, to the three of you. You can only have one. All right. So you can only have one of these: corned beef, Spam, or Vienna sausage.
Oh.
Corned beef.
Bam.
Corned beef. I lived for a long time off of that in Philippines.
I still do.
To the three of you, let's eat balut. Yes or no?
Yes.
No.
No.
2-1.
Tell us your favorite Filipino dessert.
Oh, it's like the suman.
Oh.
Buko salad.
Oh.
Mm.
Aloha.
This is a tie now. This is dead heat.
Now tell us your non-Filipino dessert.
Lasagna.
Mm.
For dessert? That's
For
awesome.
dessert.
I don't. No. Yeah.
No, that's
Somehow.
Oh, because in the Philippines, pasta can
Yeah.
be dessert.
Ah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Here in the Philippines.
Can be dessert.
Leonard's winning.
I know it's funny because we just got word from our judges and it says it's valid. So
Yes. Leonard's in the lead.
Okay, mine cheesecake.
Okay.
Ice cream.
Awesome.
To the three of you, your favorite boba drinks.
I'm not really fan of it.
Mm.
Shake for me. I'm not really
Okay.
with that.
Mocha.
Mango shake.
Peanut butter banana chocolate. Just all in one. They do it all in one with the boba. It's good.
Going to your boba place.
Wow. Okay. Now tell us your favorite chocolate if you have one.
Oh, Hershey's. What's it
Okay.
called that the one?
Dark chocolate.
Nice.
The dark chocolate where they also put in the spices, the peppers. So it's like
yes.
spicy.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Okay. Now the three of you, your favorite fruit.
Mango.
Manga. Yeah, same with Leonard. Manga.
Banana.
And then this is probably to Randall. You can, that's why we have you last year. Now tell us your favorite alcoholic beverage.
Me, Jack Daniel.
Okay.
Sparkling whites and sparkling rosés.
Oh, okay.
Vodka martini, James Bond style.
Oh, so for those who
Just saw
are
it.
not familiar with that, that's shaken, not stirred.
That's right.
And that was a great movie, by the way.
Gotta have 2 parts vodka, 1 part vermouth. You can't skip the vermouth.
All right, we'll have that recipe posted up on the Rise and Shine website, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Randall, for that. Now, tell us, from the three of you, recommend one Filipino or FilAm book, movie, or a TV show.
Of course, I want to recommend The Monsters Without to be watched by my Filipino with a film director with location in the province of Biliran. Of course, with our producer, a Filipina, beautiful Filipina, Mamalo.
Filipino TV show, Hiraya Manawari.
Okay.
I'm recommending Graceland by Ron Morales.
Okay. To the three of you, let's play Mahjong. How good are you?
I don't know how to play that one.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Mahjong? No, not for. I don't know how to play mahjong.
oh.
Okay.
I don't
all
know either.
losing.
None of
We're
us
all
know.
losing.
Okay. 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 To the three of you, have you ever been stood up on a date?
Maybe several times.
No.
This is not Dr.
Yes.
Oz or anything, this is just yes or no. It's just like,
Okay.
For me, no.
No.
okay. Have you ever dumped someone? So have you ever broken up with someone? Yes or
Yes.
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 no? Okay. Last question to the three of you. Look directly into the camera and say one sentence to your people, to the haters, to the criticizers, to the people who told you that you couldn't make it. One sentence into the camera. Go.
We have our own differences. Mind your own business, and I will gonna mine as well.
Thank you so much for challenging me.
Stop hating.
All right. I love all these answers. These are great. All right. Final question. You get to be the guest host for a future episode of Rise and Shine with FilAm Creative. What Filipino or Asian guest would you want to interview, dead or alive, and why?
Oh, actually, as what I've said, I am so very much thankful with Director Randal Kamradt for giving me the opportunity. I think if given a chance, I will gonna interview him and ask Direct, are you ready for the next movie? And would you hire me again?
There we go. Nice and
Okay.
direct.
Okay.
If I get to be a host, I would want to interview Gabriela Silang.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm a fan of her and her work, so
I guess I would want to interview Eddie Romero, the Filipino film director, because I mean he made a whole ton of these genre movies in the Philippines that were primarily meant for sort of American drive-in audiences, but fostered lots of talents like Eddie Garcia and others, and went on to a big career making bigger movies in Philippines about the Filipino people as well. So I mean he has an interesting career, and it would be fun to talk.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we want to thank our three new friends, Leonard and Malou and Randall, for joining us today on 13 Things. Please catch 13 Things and all episodes of Rise and Shine on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen to your favorite podcasts. And on the other side of this promo, we'll be back to close the show. All right. And we're back for our final segment here of Rise and Shine. By the way, Do you like what you're watching? Of course you do. So if you do, don't forget that we would appreciate it if you would Venmo us a few quid. You can find us at FilAm Creative. That's at FilAm Creative. We appreciate all your donations. FilAm Creative is a nonprofit organization, and it helps to produce shows like Rise and Shine. So we want to thank the fabulous people behind the fantastic movie that we hope everyone's going to see, The Monsters Without, now playing at a festival near you. We want to thank Leonard and Malou and Randall for coming out today. So on behalf of my good friend Rex, my good friend Roni, we're going to put a bow on this. This has been episode 3 of
Again, we almost made it, Ed. Ed, we're
Episode
almost finished
3.
this episode.
Hello. Welcome to the best segment of the show, the Veronica segment. I am so inspired by Monsters Without. I saw that it was kind of like an ensemble cast and these heroes. So I thought to myself, if I can pitch this to the director and the producer, Randall and Malou, I think if we could put Ed and Rex in the movie. And I already wrote their characters. Here we go. Rex would be like a bodyguard, like a henchman type bodyguard to our leaders, Setsuko and Ramel. Rex would be the bodyguard, and get this, twins, double impose. Rex, Parent Trap style, two Rexes next to our leaders. We can have him there, and one of the twins will be like a charismatic extrovert, and then the other one will be like all business. So double the Rex for the sequel. Second character, Ed. I didn't, Ed doesn't strike me much just in general, so I would think he'd just kind of be like the reluctant vet who gets killed 2 days before retirement. So
this is really happening.
That should be your character. Yes.
Yes. Leonard, if there's going to be a sequel, I think those two can be in it. I just, just to put it out there. So double the Rex, none of the Ed.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
I'll take the check now.
This is not
Fire her
happening.
now.
No check, Ed.
Speaking
Please
of
don't pay
checks, you know what time it is? It's time for some
Time for you.
credits.
Time for you.
It's time for everyone out there to know that Rise and Shine with FilAm Creative was created, casted, hosted, produced, written, directed by, masticated on, and digested by Edward J. Malillan and Rex A. Sampaga, with the one and only co-star, me, Veronica, and that other lady, Roni, who just happens to be my sister.
Better can
we
you?
will be back for another episode at some point when these guys can get their act together. So thank you to the guests. I'm sorry you had to talk to them for the last few minutes, but you've been great. Can't say the same about these two.
Don't
Bye,
pay her.
everybody. Watch something else now.
We're so sorry.
We're sorry, guys. Don't pay her, Red. No check. No, don't pay her.